The interest, support, and encouragement I've been receiving has been quite wild, especially with my channel being so new. So thank you. If you're returning, welcome back. If you are new, foodie solo, I am Rozz. In the relationships tab, we're able to track our emotional connection, our romantic connection, and our chemistry. We can even be able to see that character's timeline, for stalking purposes, obviously, and the relationship states, which are what is your connection to them? Are they your relative? Are they a friend, best friend, enemy, etc.? So speaking of relationship states, we have strangers, right? People who you know nothing about. And in this game, they show that by having question marks over the characters' humans' heads when you don't even know who they are. You don't even know their name yet. We saw in Rozz's playthrough, there were two people who didn't know each other talking. One of the characters was coming on a bit strong, while the other was pulling back, kind of like, yeah, no thanks, I'm good. No, I don't really want to hang out, I'm good. And Rod was like, okay, it's not going well, let me go over there and save the conversation and talk with them instead. And when they talked, it was a bit more smoother, and at a certain point, they even talked about going on a date together. So I find that really interesting how it's quite realistic, where there's some people you're going to click with while others not so much. And in that first conversation where there could be that awkwardness, or it just kind of flows nicely. With conversations, we have the option to kind of step back and see where the conversation flows naturally without any involvement. Or we can step into the conversation and actually choose where we want to take the conversation. Do we want to be friendly, flirty? Do we want to be mean? So naturally, when you have conversations, you can even see the different choices you make, what percentage of how that will affect your relationship with this person. But because we also have quests in this game, we'll be able to unlock quests and see that available in the dialogue branch. And not only that, other types of interactions will be unlocked as well. There are factors that affect how conversations will go, like the location. Maybe they'll talk about how beautiful the park is, or how lovely the tea is at the cafe you're in, or maybe how bad the service is. Things like your likes and dislikes factor in. Because of this, I'm hoping hobbies are included in that. And they say that relationships will factor in too. Now, I'm wondering if that's just talking about the relationship stats between you guys, how close you are, or if they're also talking about relationships, other relationships that you have, other connections that you have, and maybe they might not be on good terms with that other person, and maybe would they bring up them because you know them too, and just some tension there within your connections. As a side note, I'd like to point out the way conversations are handled in lifebyyou is with spoken languages that we can understand. So the diversity of these conversations is quite vast, especially since we're able to pull in user-created stories and dialogues into our own games. Friends and roommates, that's going to be an interesting relationship. What about the roommates that you don't really know? Your upbringings are different, your personalities clash. You could have a roommate that sets all these traps and is wreaking havoc and is mischievous, or maybe they're really dirty and it sets your human off. It could be a really great environment or a really toxic environment. And so let's talk about family. One of the base foundation building relationships I feel for our humans is that family that they grow up with, because we do have traits that can be inherited. We have backgrounds, your upbringing. What kind of environment is or was the home of that human? Was it warm and comforting, or was it tense and toxic? It could be a variety of things. because there are observables. Could a child observe a loving or decaying relationship between their parents? Could family disapprove of certain connections based on a person's upbringing, reputation, appearance, or even just the family they come from? But you're wondering, appearance really? But objects have the ability to have traits put on them. You could actually be able to label fashion styles like goth, luxury, streetwear, etc. And then we can tie that to different types of communities and different types of people who would like that or dislike that. So we could have people judge you on your appearance. Sorry. Naturally, we could have communities and niches, cliques, and fan bases because we could put traits on books, on games, on types of art and clothing. It goes on. That is all an umbrella of different hobbies and interests. That you can have different humans gravitate to different shops. So there's certain shops that certain kinds of personalities and people who have certain hobbies go to and enjoy. And what's crazy is you could actually have two humans connecting because of the upbringing that they had, which maybe I was gonna say toxic, but it could also be quite healing, maybe. That two people who had a really tough upbringing are connecting from that. And I wonder if that comes into the family dynamic when they're trying to bring up their own family and those kind of discomforts with not repeating what they experienced. I know it's pretty deep, but if you already have that system in place, it's not that hard for modders to do something with that. Take what they have available, as well as we still don't know what is coming to base game and down the line. So the possibilities are there. And now let's talk co-workers and bosses. Imagine having a team of like-minded souls. It's a harmonious environment where you could find your best friends there. You could give gifts to your co-workers and your boss on their birthday. Now imagine working at a toxic workplace. And in this environment, you have co-workers competing against each other, even sabotaging each other's reputation just so that they can climb the work ladder. The difference between the types of bosses you could end up with. Then what would actions like flirting with your boss do? How would it benefit or destroy your career? And then what if a coworker or coworkers observe this? Enemies and bullies and those challenging relationships. As we know, we do have the colder side to conversations. The like bar can shift into the dislike spectrum. And we have mischief as a skill that we can level up. So that's just one skill. I'm sure there are other different types. We have thievery as well. Imagine people stealing from their own workplace. With bullying, when it comes to gameplay in the different age ranges, imagine bullying for elders. You could have elder being bullied by a peer that's kind of in their ego and pride about how successful their own family turned out. But then kind of saying, it's a shame the same can't be said about your fail of a family. You know. Then we have the autonomy and progression of relationships developing around your human. We can overhear other conversations, and it makes me wonder because Rod said that at work you could be seen doing something either embarrassing or something that is tardy that can go back to your boss and actually hurt your career later on, even if the boss didn't see it themselves. So there's gossiping, right? And I hope that they extend this with us being able to overhear conversations. Could we overhear gossip? Does names actually come up in conversation? Could we see our human's name and people talking about them at work or at school? Could we be playing totally different people? One of our main characters' names pops up and you get to kind of see their views on that character. And so this leads us into reputation, which is something I've been wanting to talk about for a long time for this video. With gossiping, with memories, all of those things being tracked, we could have a reputation to uphold. That human's reputation, and possibly even the reputation of locations and of families. So what kind of things could contribute to a reputation in this game? It could be the humans or places' accomplishments, the observables, so what was observed at a place, or what actions were observed of a human. It could be personal conversations and relations built directly by that human, a person's possessions and career, memories or events from the event timeline. But then we do have gossip. Gossip contributes. And the condition of the relationship bars. Because of all these contributing factors, the possibility is that we may need to rebuild certain connections after a reputation has been damaged, either from gossip or an actual mistake that was made. Here's an example. Say word gets back to the parents of whom your character is dating. That first meeting goes totally differently than how it could be before that gossip got out. Now, this could be a bad thing or a good thing. Because what if word spreads that your human is highly successful with really great reputation, self-owned shop? This could work in that human's favor. Then we have the phone UI, which is being worked on, and I wonder what other social features could be available than just phone calls and text. In-game, in the right side of the screen, there are notifications that pop up of social media updates. Is this just a cute feature to help us feel immersed in the world, aware of the different humans that are around, or will they start making this feature more functional? Because this social platform actually has a name, chatbyyou. Will chatbyyou be accessed through the phones, and will it just be update the thing that just happened, or will there be other things built into chatbyyou? Adults can use chatbyyou, and even children. With that being said, what about taking gossip, word of mouth, reputation, whether it be good or bad, online? Because things can spread across the town that could be quite detrimental, but there's some realism there. Yeah, I really want to know how the social feature plays a part in everything, even for shops to be able to promote your shop on social media, and you can actually see more people showing up. Then you could even see a few posts here and there of people promoting your shop. It'd be very interesting. I don't know. I feel like with such a feature, and you're going to name it chatbyyou, it'd be cool if it's not just a one-off. I have a feeling that the social features in this game is going to be something that is continuously revealed and more things are added on to it. So this won't be the first time that we discuss this. Let me know what you guys think about the social features and what kind of possibilities you could also see being included or being modded in.